as I said, we did pretty good here. Got a lot of stuff for a lot of different systems.
Yeah.
Obviously, haven't had many pickups over lockdown, so
Because not a lot of shops have actually been open.
although we did all right, but we kind of made up for it a little bit
Yeah.
today. So
Do you want to go first?
yeah, I can go first. First thing I got quite a good Super Famicom lot. Although there's some duplicates in here.
There's some duplicates.
This is one of them. This is 2 copies of FIFA, which is a pachinko game. Pachinko and slot machines, I believe. Yeah, pachinko games definitely did not make it to the West, so we've got a couple of them. I think one of them's actually sealed, so that's alright.
Something like that. Now, I quite recent generations of consoles, and I've got here for the Xbox One, the Resident Evil 2 Remake. Now this is a proper remake, unlike some of the other games.
I should hope so, because the original Resident Evil 2 is a very outdated engine with tank controls.
Well, I've actually completed it and I found it to be quite a very good game. All being said, so yeah, I very much recommend it.
Another Super Famicom game, and another pachinko game. Well, another pachinko slot machine game. This is Patchy Slot.
Strategy simulation game.
That's its full name. Patchy Slot Strategy Simulation Game, which, yeah, it's a pachinko game. All these Famicom pickups, apart from one, got all the gubbins inside, so it's like not just the manuals, but like all the stuff for registering your copy of the game. Although it's all in kanji, so
Don't think we're going to be doing that anytime
so
soon.
Royal Mail will have a fit if I try and put it in the post.
Next up, for the PlayStation 2, we have Medal of Honor European Assault. Now, Medal of Honor is another one of those first-person shooters, and I believe I've played some PS2 first-person shooters, like Brothers in Arms and that, and I've quite enjoyed them. So it'll be one for me to play, maybe for you to play as well. Considering you've been playing more shooters as of recently.
Well, no, I did give a PS2 shooter a go. Another Super Famicom game and another pachinko game. This one is actual battle pachinko winning method.
They've all got quite long names, haven't they?
They've got quite strange names, and this one still has the price on. As you can see, this one cost 7,680 yen. But yeah, it's a Super Famicom pachinko game. I guarantee that I'm not going to get a PAL version of this because we just don't get pachinko games.
Now, to follow up on the first game which I did show, there is the Resident Evil 3 remake for the Xbox One. Another game which I have played and completed, and it's also been on a month in games. And even though it's not a full-on remake of them, it is still quite a good game.
It's alright for what you want it to be.
Yeah.
Back to my Super Famicom lot that I got. This one is J-League Soccer Prime Goal 3, which is officially a licensed J-League game by Namco. Some people may remember Prime Goal Soccer on the PS1. This, although it's Prime Goal 3, predates that. So I haven't actually played it yet. This is one of the sealed ones, and I haven't unsealed it. I will play it because I do like my football games.
Are you sure this is one of those that was
Yep,
sealed?
This is one of the sealed ones. The cartridge is still shrink sealed inside. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to having a go at that because I love football games, and 16-bit football games, they're a bit hit and miss. Let's hope it's a hit.
Now, for the 360, we have the Assassin's Creed 3 Collector's Edition, or as it's known, the Join or Die Edition. This comes with the medallion, the art book, and which is also a notebook, if I believe, and also some other stuff which you tend to
There's
see.
all the gubbins inside, is it?
Everything's inside, and that.
That's all I can.
it comes.
Don't be shy.
So obviously you've got your game in there. You've got your medallion in your little pouch, which as you can see looks quite nice. And then you've got your art book, which doubles up as a notebook. So
Yeah, it's not a bad little thing.
not a bad little collector's edition.
Well, I'll go back to the Super Famicom games that I picked up, and this is, surprise, surprise, another pachinko game. This is in the same series as one that you just saw before. This is Patchy Slots Story Special Universal?
Something like that. It's got, for some reason, these have got some really long names, but this has actually got some details on the back of what games it's got.
As you can see, it's got officially licensed pachinko
Machines
and slot games on there, so that'll be fun.
Now, a game which I'm surprised that we don't already have, to be honest. For PlayStation 4, we have God of War. A brilliant game from the bits which I've played of it.
It went on PlayStation Now for a while, so you played it on there.
Yeah,
and then obviously on the PS5 PS Plus collection, it went on there, so you played it there. But got it physically now.
Now we've got a physical of it, which we didn't have before.
That's all right. Another one that I got duplicate in this job lot of Super Famicom games. This is Derby Stallion 2.
But none of these are sealed, are they?
No, none of these are sealed. So I've got two of them. I don't know what I'm going to do with the duplicates of them, but I'll certainly give it a go. I did really like, what was the 360 horse racing game? I can't remember what it was called.
Then we'll do a Generation Challenge on it.
G1 Jockey or something like that. I can't remember. Anyway, like that, so I might give Derby Stallion 2 a go and see if that's any good.
Now, with the PS3, we have Unreal Tournament 3 now. It's an Unreal Tournament game, isn't it? So
yeah, it is. So it's a show.
Yeah, pretty much. Shooter combat on a somewhat wide scale-ish.
Unreal Tournament was a big esport back in the day, as I remember.
But PS3 games are seeming to become quite cheap, aren't they?
I've got another Super Famicom game. Actually, already had this one, but this is a much better condition copy. This is, now I have to remember what it's called, Mini Yonku Shining Scorpion Let's and Go, and it's a RPG racing game, which is very heavily text based, and it's all in kanji, but it's a great game which is well worth playing if you can get through the kanji RPG bits and get to the races. The races are very much like something like Micro Machines, or actually probably more like Super Sprint if I'm honest, but great game, and still got the price ticket on this one. This was a nice cheap one. This was only 5,589 yen.
Yep. Now another PlayStation 3 title. This is Sleeping Dogs. Now we've both completed the Xbox One version, because that went on sale quite a lot, didn't it? For a few pounds, if I remember correctly. It's a brilliant game, though, to be honest, isn't it? So
I like it.
I really did enjoy it, and I think I went back through and done like some of the side quests and activities and everything. But
it's a shame that we're not going to get another one because Pandemic Studios doesn't exist anymore. We very nearly didn't get this one because I think this was originally going to be a true crimes game.
But it's a brilliant game, and if it ever goes on sale for Xbox One, I'd say pick it up, or if you can just pick it up for cheap, then I'd say go for it.
Anyone who watched our last month in games will know that I really do quite like baseball, so I picked up on the Super Famicom Super Power League, which is a Japanese baseball game. So this isn't the Major League Baseball teams, this is the Japanese League Baseball teams. 16-bit baseball games are hit and miss, but we'll find out, I guess, when I start playing this, whether this is a hit or a miss. It is by Hudson Soft, who obviously do the Bomberman games. that's a lot of fun. If it's half as much fun as that, I'll be very happy indeed.
And they've also made some other good sports games as well, haven't they?
They have.
So, yeah, should be quite good. Next up for the PlayStation 3 is The Fight. Now, this one uses PlayStation Move features.
Who's that guy in the back? I recognise him.
I'm not entirely
He's
sure.
he's like off films or something.
I can't. I'm not entirely sure, but
It's like, is he like a Mexican or something? And he always plays like the same character,
I don't
which
know.
is probably himself.
But it uses PlayStation Move for a fighting game, which should be quite interesting and potentially quite fun, shouldn't it?
Again, back to Super Famicom, and this one is Super Famista 3, which is another baseball title. So if Super Power League's no good, Super Famista 3 might be a bit better. I'm sure I'll get some fun out of one or the other of them.
Is that another one that was sealed?
This one is sealed,
Yes.
but it will be unsealed because I'm a gamer first and foremost, and I play games.
Next up, speaking of sealed games, this one is sealed. For the PlayStation 5, this is the enhanced edition of Mortal Shell.
This one actually was one that Geordie Slasher Gaming picked up in his last pickups video. I think it might have been, and I thought it looked quite interesting, and it was only £35 for the collector's edition.
Plus for a PS5 game,
So
that's not a bad price.
yeah, that was definitely worth picking up.
Obviously, with it being sealed, I can't pull out the postcards and everything that comes with it, but they are in there.
Another football game on Super Famicom. This is J League Super Soccer. Now, I haven't actually played a game of it yet.
Still got the price tag, and it's by Hudson.
I suspect that it's the Japanese version of the unlicensed Super Soccer that you got on the Super Nintendo. May be wrong about that, but that's. I mean, they're both called Super Soccer, so I would expect this is just a J League licensed version. This one was particularly cheap, only 3,500 yen.
Next up is a DS game, not a console that we tend to see in these halls, but surprisingly it is a big box one. This is Easy Piano, so it does come with a little attachment to slot in, I'm guessing through your Game Boy slot there where you can put
It's still in the GBA slot that you put in.
Some games, it tends to be rhythm games which tend to do that with their accessories, but it's a piano game for the DS where you actually get to play the piano.
The DS piano.
Yeah.
This one, and I'm going to probably butcher the pronunciation of this. This is Hurricanaru Augusta, which is an officially licensed Augusta National Golf Course golf game, obviously, on the Super Famicom. This is a 3D golf game, really ahead of its time, this one. Looks great, plays great, is great.
Next up is another big box DS game. This is My Health Coach Manager, which comes with a pedometer. Now, I'm not sure who's going to be managing their health on a DS, can I say, to be honest with you.
The same people who are managing it on a Wii Fit, I should imagine.
Something like that, but yeah, another accessory which you can plug into your GBA port.
Again, we're going back to Super Famicom. I'm liking it this month, and this is Pachinko Story. So yeah, another Pachinko game. None of these got a release in the West, so if you want to play lots of Pachinko goodness, you have to get the Super Famicom versions.
Next up for the PlayStation 2 is Manhunt. Now, Manhunt's a banned game, isn't it?
I don't know. One of them got banned. It was either
Yeah.
Manhunt or Manhunt 2.
They're very violent games.
As
They're
it
from
turns out,
Rockstar.
we've got Manhunt 2 anyway, so
We've got both.
So whichever one was banned, we've now picked that up. And
Well, to be
it's
fair,
ticked off the list, isn't
let's
it?
be honest, they're both just ultra-violent games from Rockstar.
No, kind of. I mean, they were definitely controversial at the time, but
Compared to some of modern days. games.
everything Rockstar were doing at the time was controversial. Grand Theft Auto was massively controversial, so you know that's what it is. I think this is the last Super Famicom pickup that I've got here, and this is Derby Stallion
96.
96. Now, this one is in a bigger box for a reason, because this actually is, as you can see, it's got the gubbins in. This is a Satellaview cart. Now, everyone looking at this will think that this looks like a Super Game Boy player, and it does look exactly like that. But this was in Japan. They had carts that you could go to the 7-Eleven and get extra content for this game, and it was on. You put on a cartridge off a machine in the 7-Eleven, put it in the top slot of this cart, and it gave extra content on the game. I don't actually have any of those smaller cartridges, but
Are you going to be trying to find them though?
I will try and find them, but because they were rewritable carts, they're really quite difficult to
Get a
to
hold
track
of.
down. But yeah, it's something different, and Satellaview was a Japan only thing. Yeah.
Next up is another PlayStation 2 game. This is International Superstar Soccer. It's a football game.
This is the precursor to Pro Evolution
Yeah.
Soccer.
By Konami, obviously.
Yeah.
So,
And it's brilliant.
so yeah, to be fair, if it, obviously being by Konami and being the game that they done before Pro Evolution Soccer, you know it's going to be quite good, isn't it?
That is good. It's a brilliant game.
Yeah. Little sports game.
And that was
there.
actually a cross-platform release, although we've got the PS2 version. That game also released on the PS1. So you know how you get cross-platform games
Yeah.
now, PS4, 5 or Xbox One or in series. This one is I don't think we can call it a remake, a reimagining of an absolute classic from the 80s on the original Xbox. This is Spy Hunter. Spy Hunter was a game that I absolutely loved in the 80s, played it in the arcades. I had the home port on, I had it on the ZX Spectrum. Not an original, because everything was on cassettes back then. We just recorded on a dual cassette player. But I spotted this one and thought, Spy Hunter, I will have a go and see what that's like.
Next up is Spy Hunter 2, but for the PlayStation 2
Yeah.
instead of the Xbox this time. So it'll be just like a follow-up, won't it, to Spy Hunter?
It will be so.
Basically.
If I like the Spy Hunter reimagining, then
Or
I'm sure
if
that
I enjoy it,
then I'm sure we'll like Spy
then-
Hunter too.
yeah.
Always like picking up games on the PSP whenever I get a chance. This one is not one I think I'm going to spend an awful lot of time with.
we might give it a quick go because
But it is Brian Lara 2007 Pressure Play is a cricket game.
well, you do tend to like your sports games.
I do,
don't you?
and I have played cricket games in the past. I have played Brian Lara cricket games in the past, so it may be good. I'll certainly give it a go. But whether or not I put a huge amount of time into it, doubtful possibly.
Next up is Total Immersion Racing for the PlayStation 2. It's a racing game.
It
If
is,
you
isn't it?
can't tell.
Looks like a really good sim as
Yeah.
well. Not one that I'd ever heard of though.
No, I don't even believe if I've seen it until we picked it up, to be honest with you.
But that's the fun of game hunting. You
Yeah.
see things that you've never seen before, and you pick them up because
You've never seen them before.
why not? Another PSP pickup. This one is Virtua Tennis. Is it World Tour? Yeah, Virtua Tennis World Tour. It's a Virtua Tennis game. They're usually pretty good. I haven't played this one before, but I've played on the PS3 and on the Dreamcast and whatever else it came. The Virtua Tennis games came out on.
Next up is a PC pickup. This is Unreal 2, The Awakening. It's another Unreal game, so it'll be another first-person shooter on a wide basis, just like the one that we got for the PlayStation 3 this month, but obviously on PC, and this is the second one. So, yeah.
Yep, it should be good one. And another PSP pickup.
You do quite like the PSP,
I
don't you?
love the PSP, and this one is Pursuit Force, and I'm led to believe that it's quite a good game. It's certainly been well reviewed online. It looks a little bit like Crackdown on the Xbox.
which is quite a good game, to be honest.
I'm not sure if it's going to be like that, but that's what it looks like. So be interesting to see.
Next up is another PlayStation 3 game. This is Dead Island Game of the Year edition. This is the first Dead Island, because there's 3, isn't there? There's the Escape and then there's Return.
Is that? I don't know.
Or something like that.
This was big up hyped when it was coming out, and to be honest, it was a bit of a letdown. There's a lot of fetch quests in it.
Can I say something? It looks quite a bit like Dying Light.
Does it? No.
Which was an Xbox One game, which is really good, by the way.
There's an awful lot of fetch quests in it. That's all I'm going to say.
All I'm going to
and
ask,
escort missions, escort missions are
all I'm
just
going to ask
the
is,
worst.
can you drop kick zombies?
Well, no, but you can smack them over the head with wooden planks.
Well, you can do that in Dying Light, so.
Another original Xbox game. That's probably going to be more up your street than it is up mine. This is Battlefield 2. Now, this one is Battlefield 2 Modern Combat. I thought it was Battlefield 2 Bad Company. So this is a game that I didn't even know existed.
No, neither did I, because I thought it was Bad Company 2.
But it's a shooter, so
It's a Battlefield, and it's a shooter, so I'll probably like
one
it.
for you rather than one for me.
Next up is a game which I will most certainly enjoy, and it is a steelbook for the 360. This is Bioshock One. I love the Bioshock series. So this is obviously the
Will
one.
you actually play that one?
I most likely will, because to be honest with
Because
you,
were you not playing Bioshock Collection on PS5? Why would you go back to 360?
well, here's the thing: we don't actually have any physicals of any Bioshocks,
No, okay.
so
I'll give you that.
it's always good to have at least one in the collection.
And a game on PS2. This one is not just a 007 game. This is a Sean Connery 007 game. It's from Russia with Love. If it's a good James Bond game, I'll be very happy. It certainly looks the part, so we'll see when I play it, I guess.
Next up for the 360, this is Payday 2. Now, Payday is an absolutely brilliant game, I think. Playing the Crime Wave edition on the Xbox One, which is on Game Pass, if I remember correctly. Pretty much you just go around robbing places, and you can customise masks, make your own, customise your guns and everything. And it's an absolutely brilliant game. And it's another one of those games where you can play with your friends. So
there you go. And we've got another PC game here. This one is Shogun Total War. This is the Warlord edition, so I'm guessing it's got all the DLC on it.
probably will.
I really like Rome Total War.
So it's just going to be like that,
It's
but
going
with
to be
different
probably
armies
more
and
of the
stuff.
same. There's lots of Total War games. I think they're doing like Warhammer and stuff now. But this is Shogun, so this will be, I'm guessing, Rome Total War, but in Japan, in feudal Japan. So that should be pretty good.
Next up is another PC game. This is Neverwinter Night 2. I believe we do have the first one, and it's DLC. It's a
Expansion, not DLC.
Sorry. Well, expansion is. It's somewhat the same thing if done right.
No, yeah, it is.
So
Neverwinter Nights actually is pretty decent. It's kind of
open
like
world RPG.
It's not open world. It's kind of like a Diablo clone.
Well,
it's pretty good for what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not Diablo, but
it is a good game.
I don't think any of the Diablo clones actually are Diablo. Another PC game. This one is The Sword of the Stars. I picked this up. I'll be absolutely honest with you. I didn't realise that we already had it. And the reason is because I've never actually played it. So I don't know what it's about. We'll have to have a quick go, see what it is.
Is this one of the games that were picked up when we were getting an absolute ton because the shops had just reopened?
Yes.
Right, that'll explain why.
That's exactly why. But I'll have to have a little bit of play. It looks like some kind of space battle simulation thing, so we'll have a look.
Now, the last game for this haul is Spartan Total Warrior for the original Xbox.
This kind of leads on from Shogun Total War because it's the same thing. It's like where you've got the Total Warrior thing at the back.
Yeah.
That's like, so it must be like the same studio or the same creative assembly, isn't it?
Listen. So it'll be another game for you to play, won't it?
Well, no, because this one isn't a strategy game.
Isn't it?
Like Total War, it's you actually are a single warrior, and it's.
So
I think it's more like a Soulsborne game.
so probably a bit more
So
for me.
be right up your alley, I would have
Yeah.
thought. So that's everything that we got since the shops reopened about a month and a bit ago.
Yeah, so quite a lot to be
We did
honest.
all right, I think. Might have to calm down a little bit and start playing some games instead of picking lots up.
Yeah.
But we did miss it a lot, so kind of understandable. But that's it for this video.
Yeah.
If you haven't already,
Give us a like, share, and subscribe, and hit the like button so we can. Messed that up, didn't I? But here we go once more. Give us a like, share, and subscribe, and turn the notification bell so you can find out when we upload, and we will see you in the next video.